Let us pray. Almighty God, the creator and ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our actions, so that we may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only those things that promote the unity, peace, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria in general and Lagos State in particular. Amen. Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues. You are all welcome to today's sitting. Let us go through the votes and proceedings of Tuesday, 27 February 2024. Page 145, 146, 147. Honorable Afeni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On Tuesday, 27th February, I was at a conference for secular economy in a letter that you submitted to me to represent you there, sir. So I was absent officially. Thank you.
Mr. Clark, kindly do the needful. I have examined the votes and proceedings of Tuesday, 27 February 2024, and approval is here granted. Let us go through the votes and proceedings of Monday, 4th March 2024. Page 148, 149. I have examined the votes and proceedings of Monday, 4th March 2024, and approval is here granted. Any message from the governor?
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, sir. Distinguished honorable members, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. There is no message from governor, sir.
Any other announcements?
There is none, sir.
Petitions?
None, sir.
Matter for their public importance? Personal explanations? Reports? Yeah, before we move to order of the day, I think this is most appropriate under reports. And this has to do with the event that took place last week and the commissioning of the red line. I think that was a very significant one, very historic and memorable. It is a project that will definitely impact positively the lives of our people, the economy of Lagos, the commerce of Lagos, and the trade of Lagos. And that, to me, I think that is a very huge one, and it's a very commendable one. And it is a plus for the government of Lagos and people of Lagos. And when we see something like this, it is very appropriate for us to also commend, the man in charge, and his team who have put so much into this to make it a very realistic one. And I thank God majority of us were there and we saw it, happened live. And we also had a ride from Ikeja to Agege. So it's not just about the project, it is about the importance of that project and its contribution to our society, to the life of our people, and to the economy of the state. And being the second of it, during the last, last time, we commissioned the blue line and now the red line. So it's like setting a pace, putting in place something that whatever any successive administration will also look up to, to beat such achievements. So it's like laying foundation, in the form of transportation that will take Lagos away from what it used to be, eliminating, traffic, go slow, whatever we come, and other vices that associates with the traffic problem in Lagos. You talk about the traffic robbers, you talk about the kidnapping, you talk about all this. So I think we are getting there. So on this, I think it is necessary for us to commend Mr. Governor on this and his team, and as well our president, Senator Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, His Excellency, who was, on hand to commission it, and at the same time, it was an opportunity for homecoming for Mr. President, being president from Lagos. So I think we should also commend Mr. President for being around, and not only that, for laying the foundation, because the matter was introduced 20 years ago, or 20-something years ago by Mr. President, and all this project we are talking about has been planned ahead, but we thank the successive administration from Fashola, Ambode, and now Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu as well to have sustained such vision, because if they choose not to comply or to follow it up, there's little we can do. But we thank God for all of them, to embrace that vision and make it a realistic now that has become thing that we can see and we can feel and we can enjoy. So I think that was a wonderful outing and commendable one. The chairman has Committee on Transportation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, my dear colleagues. Mr. Speaker, indeed, it was a very good outing. It was amazing. And with what you have said so far, you have given accolades to those who you think deserve the accolades. Mr. Speaker, all of this wouldn't have been able to come to reality if this noble house, under your leadership, did not pass the budget or appropriate for funding of either the blue line or the red line. Mr. Speaker, and over time, we've always mentioned there is no need for us to have more vehicles on the road, that we should look into mass transit and intermodal transport system in Lagos State. This is also part of your vision. Mr. Speaker, while we are commending Mr. Governor, I want to use this opportunity to also commend you, for your steadfast and belief in the red line, that at every point in time a bill has come for money, either to request to borrow, you've always been there to approve for them. You've always seen that it was important that the red line and the blue line come to life. Mr. Speaker, I commend you because you fought very hard for this. Some administrations did not complete it. But under your leadership, again, as Mr. Speaker, we have also witnessed that this is not the first you are launching, and this is not the second one you are launching, and I'm sure by God's grace will be the third one you are launching, for as long as you continue to appropriate money into the transport sector through the chairman of the committee. Mr. Speaker, I know we will achieve more in Lagos State. I also want to commend every member of the Committee of Transportation, from the Night Assembly to the present 10th Assembly Committee, for they have also stood by the House and by the committee to ensure that all bills, all laws, all requests that have been made in terms of safety operations that come to the House has been approved. So, Mr. Speaker, again, I want to congratulate you and I congratulate the members of the committee. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Ogundipe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Let me also join in appreciating the Lagosians and thanking them for their patience. I was elated when I was also part of that history, and I saw our president. I saw the state he was in, despite the challenges in the country, that this major succor is coming to Lagosians. When the aspect of the blue line was launched, some of us at this divide were a little bit jealous, and we're also looking up forward that when it will be our own turn. And behold, not too long a time, our turn is here. And our people will also see that they're also part of this history. I also want to join the chairman of the committee and the entire members of that committee to appreciate your leadership role, because you've really played a major role here. And I saw the governor appreciating that too, in the presence of everybody, appreciating you for always standing by the masses, making sure things moved in the progressive manner we've all been talking about. Mr. Speaker, without wasting much of our time here, I want to say that history will also judge you properly, because you've always been on ground to show the light, and the world is also looking at that positively. So once again, I want to congratulate all of us, because what we saw on that day was a major aspect that Lagosians have been looking for, and we are going to provide during our lifetime. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kasu. Oh, Setonji, sorry.
Thank you very much, the Right Honourable Speaker. I also want to seize this opportunity to appreciate what is going on in Lagos. And this is the product of a steady and stable political environment. That is why other states is encouraged to emulate Lagos, because the environment is stable politically. And for the past 20 years, what we are seeing today is a product of a steady system. This is something that has never happened. And I want to appreciate the governor for his effort, for his steadfastness, and courage to continue the legacy that was laid by our president when he was the governor of Lagos State. I also appreciate Mr. Speaker, because if not for the backing of this House, those things won't have been possible. And the Right Honourable Speaker have been so wonderful. They have been so steady in ensuring that Lagos develops. So we really appreciate you, sir, for what you have been doing to make sure that the people of Lagos State enjoy, because you are one of the people. And I also appreciate my colleagues too, especially the Committee on Transportation. Because if not for their input one way or the other, this thing would have been possible. So this is progress for Lagos State, progress for Nigeria. And Lagos, the House of Assembly of Lagos State will continue to be the center of excellence, just like the state as a whole. So I'm really happy for this, because somebody actually called me from outside. They said, you guys in Lagos, you are doing wonders. Yes, it's Lagos at least, and other will follow. Thank you very much, sir.
Honorable Tijani.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. While I commend the governor for the laudable project and development in Lagos State, I must also appreciate Mr. President, who happened to be the master planner of this project. But mostly, Mr. Speaker, you are the one that I want to congratulate, because I'm very sure you witnessed the beginning of this plan, most especially in terms of the law that provides Lamata. You are part of that team. And today, you also witnessed the finishing of that project. Mr. Speaker, I congratulate you. Experience counts. Thank you very much, sir.
Right, Honourable Speaker, my honourable colleague. I will also join my colleague this afternoon to appreciate the President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and our boss here, Mr. Speaker, for always being there. And I just want to remind the governor not to forget his promise to continue and work hard on the yellow line and the purple. So Lagos State, they are expecting it. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Shaw.
Speaker, good afternoon, honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, I also want to commend our president, our father, for this vision that has been achieved now. I want to commend the governor for seeing this through. The blue line last term, as you mentioned, now the red line. Mr. Speaker, this House is very instrumental to the completion of this project. I know the Chairman House Committee on Transport has talked about it, but I think the Committee on Finance as well was very key to the success of this program, this project. I remember this House, under your leadership, approved the sum of 90 billion naira and another 53 billion naira for the completion of that line. It's gladdening to the heart that for a change, or should I say in addition, Lagos is becoming more efficient. Mr. Speaker, this red line project was started under your leadership and it has been completed. And that is a plus to our state, that we don't now have abandoned projects. All our projects are being completed. Thank you very much.
Lastly, Honorable Luo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me join my colleagues to congratulate you most especially for your doggedness. Because without you, I doubt if this project would have seen the light of the day. I've seen you argue the popularist argument. You have always been on the side of the people. I will also congratulate Mr. Governor and also congratulate our president for finding it worthy to be part of that occasion. However, sir, I want to congratulate Lagosians, especially our public servants. Now they are out of this racket. They can really plan with their wages. They know that in a month, like they do in the developed country, if you are going to use 5 naira for transportation, it is very certain that 5 naira will be used for transportation. So I want to congratulate Lagosians, congratulate our public servants, but I also want to request that most of these stations, if it is possible for us to have park and ride facility, whereby our vehicles can be parked at the station and people can jump on the train to go to work and then come back and pick their car. It will serve for more benefit to Lagosians. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, thank you, distinguished colleagues. I quite agree with your submissions that we all deserve commendation. But where the assignments or the responsibility of the governor stops with his team, our just starts. It just starts because we have to be on our toes to monitor, the management, the operational, and everything from beginning to God knows when. As long as it continues to exist, we continue to work. So we can't get tired and we can't surrender now. It is necessary to commend the governor. When you have done something, appreciable, we will show, our appreciation. And that's why we are commending him, but that does not end there. Well, so we are not going to stop here. We still continue to see how it's being managed, the safety, the operational, the confidence, and every other thing that has to do with our people. But thank God the project is alive. So this is just beginning for the House, particularly House Committee on Transportation, because we have to get it right. For the fact that we have done it, that does not mean we are there. It's just the beginning. So we'll continue to do our job. I'll continue to support Mr. Governor and his team to achieve laudable, project like this and many more achievements. So I thank you. Mr. Clark, in view of this, I think it is necessary to write to Mr. President, commending him for his vision and thanking him for coming back home, to inaugurate or commission this laudable project, and Mr. Governor too for his achievement, and his predecessors in office from Fashola to Ambody writing them as well. We commend them, for building and sustaining it till we get to this stage. So kindly send a letter and notify them. Thank you. Laying of reports, Honorable Desmond. And Honorable Ogukelu thereafter.
Good afternoon, the Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Desmond Olushola Elliott, member representing Surulere Constituency 1, House Committee Chairman on Works and Infrastructure. I'm here to lay a report on the deplorable state of roads in Lagos State. I so lay.
Ogukelu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name is Honorable Ogunkelu Sylvester Oluwadansi, member representing Ekpe Constituency 2, Lagos State House of Assembly, Chairman House Committee on Physical Planning and Urban Development. I'm here this afternoon to lay a report of Committee on Physical Planning and Urban Development on a petition titled Petition Against Mrs. Rashidat Ogunbiyi of Afam Property Nigeria Limited for destruction and deliberate damage for property at 119 Inamdi at Asikwe Street, Lagos. Isole.
Majority Leader.
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, good afternoon. Order of the day. House of Assembly Bill number 08. Honorable Adams NB Etiosa 1, Honorable Mojid F.A. Ibejuleki 1, Honorable Kasumu A.R. Ikeja 2, Honorable Engineer David S.S. Badagry 2, Honorable Ogunkelu S.O.O. Ekpe 2, Honorable Kazim O.M. Mushi 2, Honorable Lawal A. Ikeja 1, Honorable Engineer Ishar G.O.R. Etiosa 2, Honorable Mrs. Shongodara M.R. Surulere 2, Honorable Mrs. Lawal Olumegbon O.O. Lagos Island 1, Honorable Ajayi O.O. Ibejuleki 2, Honorable Aro M.A. Ikododu 2, Lagos State Geographic Information Service Bill 2023. With your kind permission, Mr. Speaker, sir, may I move that a bill for a law to establish the Lagos State Geographic Information Service for the harmonization of all geographic information service projects to provide a computerized central database and base map integrated software for all land-related records and for all other connected matters be read for the second time. I so move, sir.
Honorable Tijani.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I write to second the motion as moved.
All in favor say aye. Those against nay, the ayes have it. The Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, sir. Distinguished honorable members, it gives me the great honor and privilege to read for the second time a bill for a law to establish the Lagos State Geographic Information Service for the harmonization of all geographic information service projects to provide a computerized center database and base map integrated software for all land-related records and for other connected matters. I so read, sir.
Honorable Ogokelu.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon once again, distinguished colleagues. I'm very happy to read to you this afternoon about the bill, Lagos State Geographical Information Service Bill 2023. This bill is a bill that we, the Lagos State House of Assembly, make this bill a law. It will make the LAGIS, because the short call of Lagos Graphic Information Bill is LAGIS. It will make LAGIS help the internal generated service, revenue service, which is IGR, through the provision of adequate data such as land use charge, land documentation, building documentation, building approval, effective change detection, mobility intelligence. This bill will provide a synergy within the MDAs and the ministry. It won't be like maybe physical planning is given approval now through the LSHA, and the lands will also begin CFO. This bill will enhance all the ministry to know the adequate way of giving an instruction out before anything. Lagos will provide the service to Lagos will provide the service to all MDAs. Effective planning includes Lagos State House of Assembly. This bill, 20 states has already passed this bill into law. I believe that once Lagos State join them, it will make Lagos State to have more qualities that we told our people in 2019 that wants to turn Lagos State to a mega city. This bill will make sure that without this bill, there is no way that will go to court, and the court will know what. Without this bill, we can't go to court and know from the technology. We will know with the technology of this bill, we will know the adequate things that the court can give the judgment that the court will give. And this bill again will make sure that if we are sitting in our office, we can be on our system and be searching for approval of certificates of occupancy, which is CFO. We can be in our office and know different ministry, the way they are operating. This bill will enhance the House of Assembly to call the ministry, even without calling them to call for a committee. We will know the report of all ministry about the way they are running the affairs of the agency or the ministry. This bill will also generate more income for Lagos State. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Ogokelu. Honorable Moshood.
Good afternoon, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, the current paper method of filing record and storing, retrieving information relating to land in Lagos, even in the present 21st century we have now, we should all agree with me that it is outdated. Mr. Speaker, this bill we bridge the gap and we file in the following 1 or 2, 3 that I will mention to us. It will engage transparency in the system and also reduce cases of land dispute to the barest minimum. Mr. Speaker, this bill will also help in a unique location and distant geographic coordinate. Because when you look at the way states is being situated, and my chairman of judiciary and chairman House Committee on Local Government and Rural Development knows how many cases they have in front of them regards land. Mr. Speaker, this bill will reduce the difficulty between two people claiming to one land, because even from the committee level, we can easily just check on our system and see the coordinate of every of the land in the state and be able to say, okay, show me your paper, and we'll be able to agree this is the right owner of the land. Mr. Speaker, number 2, it will encourage land transition in the state. As a potential buyer from anywhere, it will help you verify using Lagos State geographical information to really know if the land is genuine or not, even before you pay. Mr. Speaker, this bill will help us to solve many petitions coming to the House, because we will ask you, did you not check even before buying? With this new bill, it will help every of the buyer in Lagos State to be able to verify even before paying at all. So they will reduce petition coming to the House day in, day out. Mr. Speaker, number 3, it will facilitate the procedure of land registration data, processing, storage, and retrieval. Mr. Speaker, when you look at the process of land database in Lagos now, there's no any petition that we want to attend to that we don't need to call. We need to first send we need to send for we need to send for Surveyor General to come and assist us. Please go and help us check. This land, is it where people can really buy? Is it where they can buy? Is it in government cover? Is it this? But this bill we assist the committee, we assist every Lagosian to be able to sit in their comfort zone and really check if the place is where you can buy or not. Mr. Speaker, number 4, it will also aid generating more revenue for the state government as the Lagos Geopolitical Information System. This bill will make it easy to monitor all land in Lagos State, sir. This bill will make it possible to be able to generate revenue more to Lagos State. Mr. Speaker, number 5, it will provide solar research and thereby making information convenient, accessible, and online research. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, this bill in front of us, the Lagos GIS bill, is coming at a very significant time and is very apt. I say this because this bill seeks to identify and address some key issues regarding land, just as my other colleagues have posited. At this point, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I would like to identify some merits, some possible demerits, and of course, proactive measures to be taken to sustain the provision of this bill once passed into the law. The establishment of the Lagos GIS would assist urban planning and regional development in providing the data needed, the accurate data needed, because this is a time where technology is advancing and data plays a specific role in the scheme of things. It will identify, for example, sustainable locations, suitable locations for overriding public interest in areas like schools, hospitals, and what have you, among others. Mr. Speaker, may I add that it will also at this time eradicate issues of fraudulent run transactions that may or may not arise from the advent of this Lagos GIS. Instances of double registration of titles would also be completely scrapped. Furthermore, another good thing about this bill is that the relevant and updated geographical data, it will be able to identify the vulnerable assets and areas within the state, taking care of emergency and faster evacuation routes, like the situation that happened with one of the fire incidents within the state in the last few weeks. If you look at section 12 of this bill, under the establishment of the subcommittee, it includes, however, the agricultural holding authority, land authority. With this bill and the existence of this committee, agric land would always be agric land, and private land would always be private land. Mixed development, commercial lands would be identified significantly, and this will also help in identifying most of the revocable lands that are actually agric lands that should be sustained towards our agricultural reformation based on the current economic situation. The possible demerits, however, would be that the lack of the technical know-how to completely take care of the management of this system as identified in section 5 of this bill would not be doing justice if people or persons of cognate experience, highly meticulous and professional in that field, is actually needed. Those ones for the effectiveness of this bill and for it to see the light of day in terms of the law. However, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, conclusively, proactive measures that can be taken to sustain the existence of this bill once passed into law is the adequate use of local community mapping in terms of engaging local communities and rural areas so that the GIS system can be more effective identifying the geographical areas that are limited to technology. All this, Mr. Speaker, will make this bill a very, very apt bill at this time. I so submit, sir. Thank you.
Honorable Tomo.
Well, thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Well, I think the coming of this bill is so apt and so germane because at least the bill seeks to digitalize land transaction in Lagos State, keeping records, keeping data, and making it easier to retrieve. Summarily, it makes land administration very easy, and it seeks to reduce tremendously fraudulent practice in land administration. As we all know, the land to us in Lagos State is like gold to some country and crude oil to some states. But however, Mr. Speaker, there are some issues observed in the course of going through this bill. Well, consistency. If you look at section 15, they use general manager. And if you look at section 18, they use DG, Director General. So there must be consistency. If you are using general manager, let's use general manager. If you are using Director General, let's use Director General. If you look at section 22, they put issue of non-disclosure of information. And there is a fine of 5 million for any officials that disclose information. Who, except is authorized, who authorized the disclosure were not clearly stated. So I feel authorization must be clearly stated who authorized disclosure of information.
Disclosure to who?
Information. They said information on the GIS must not be disclosed. So, and if you disclose it, you be liable to 1 year imprisonment.
Yeah, what is the essence?
That is it.
Oh, what is it? Okay, so you are highlighting the demerit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've said the merit, so I'm analyzing the demerits. That was the essence. And if they are saying nobody should disclose except it's authorized, who authorized? Then, Mr. Speaker, sir, in the course of several bills in this House, we have agreed that the legal advisor should be separated from the board secretary. But if you look at this bill, under legal advisor, the subsection 2 of it, they just put board secretary. So we feel they are working and the committee should be able to look into this properly. Then finally, sir, remuneration. Both the board chairman, they say a ranking member of the cabinet will be the chairman of the board. When a ranking member of the cabinet is the chairman of the board, RAMFAC have already authorized the salary. So there's no need for Mr. Governor to determine the remuneration. And when you look at the GM, under the GM provisions, they said it must be official of level 16, and they are tenorizing the officials. If a GM who is an official is put in as a GM of that organization, why must they tenure it? That 4 years renewable. So I feel if they don't want that person, they transfer him to another place and bring another person there, except we leave it open so that we know other people can have access to it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Good afternoon, Right Honorable and my fellow honorable member. One of the major benefits of this bill is that an investor or individuals can have a comprehensive information regarding to the land matter within the state without coming to the ministry allows her for such information. And the bill also talks about decentralizations of their operation across the 20 local government and 37 LCDA within the state. I believe that it's going to encourage massive development in the areas of the real estate management, because we have a lot of people that are willing to invest on the real estate. And because of the issues of the land disputes within the state, it has discouraged some of these people to come and invest on the real estate. And also the issues of conflicting coordinates is going to address that. We had the issue about 2 years ago when this House treating a petition, when the party submitted different survey. At the end of the day, we discovered that different survey with the same coordinate. Coming up with this bill, I believe that it's going to address this issue, and which is going to lead to more revenue to their state in the areas of the estate. Thank you very much, sir.
Honorable Swani.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, our yearnings and dream to become a smart city requires that we have this kind of legislation. And that's why this bill becomes very timely and apt. Mr. Speaker, in enriching this bill, there will be need, because if you look straight into the books, on page 4, section 12, where they talk about the establishment of the governing board, for Lagis. I want to suggest that in doing that, there is an organization called GEOSON, Geographic Organization System of Nigeria, Society of Nigeria. It's very important that we include them in the board, because we will find Land Bureau, Surveyor General, whatever. This is an organization that has to do with knowledge to advance the cause of geographic information system. So also, since this appears a kind of a new system in Lagos State or this climb, it requires that we also create that cater system that will cater for GIS in the bureaucracy. So these are things that I feel it is necessary to enrich the bill. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Tijani.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I think this bill is a very good one. It will enable us to have a database and all information about our land. But my observation is section 3J. I think it's being covered at the section 19, which talk about the funding, how to generate the funding and how to maintain the revenue. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Goodipe.
Once again, I want to appreciate Mr. Speaker, sir. Yes, I'm also proud to stand up today to appreciate this particular bill because it's showing the standard we've been talking about of Lagos. It's also going to emulate what we've been talking about. It's going to be a one-stop hub on matters of land in Lagos, because most of the time we've seen so many embarrassing statements. We have judgments, different judgments from same court, and a lot of confusion and embarrassment to both landowners and also buyers. So it will enable a free flow of information at your home, at your office. You could see the level. In fact, if anything tampers with your land, you could quickly know about it. Mr. Speaker, sir, I also want to state that this is also showcasing our strength in Lagos. If all the time we are coming up with what the standard of the world is also saying, most especially we are also saying that we're also second to none when it also has to do with information gathering. And finally, sir, I'm also elated as an HR person that this will also generate revenue to the state and create employment for our citizenry. More so, it's also in conformity with international standard. So this is something we should appreciate. And thank you for having me, sir.
Honorable Afinu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me also join my colleagues to commend this bill. Digitizing the land in the states is very commendable, and so this is what this bill is trying to do. There have been various projects digitizing land information in Lagos State, and this bill is trying to harmonize everything, have a collective database for them. So all the data will provide.
Can you make use of the mic?
So sorry, sir. All the data will provide for the optimal use of land, and also it can also provide for minimum impact on the environment in, giving information on how building projects should be carried out. That is what those kind of data can provide to us. And my colleagues have spoken about a lot of the merits of digitizing it, but let me just mention a few observations in the bill going through it. First, in the interpretation section, where it says geospatial data, I feel it should just be geospatial because you can have a definition for that, and if you look at the bill, data is now used interchangeably. Section 4 in functions of LSHA, the subsection 1, subsection A, it's there they use geospatial matters. That doesn't correspond with the interpretation of geospatial data. Also there in subsection B, it says geospatial information. That's one of my observations. Also, the observation on the funds of the LSHA, the subsection D, it says a percentage may be approved by the governor and appropriated by the State House of Assembly of all revenue generated by LSHA in the preceding financial year. So they want money in the preceding financial year, they want to carry it over and not return it to the CFR, to the consolidated revenue account. So I think the committee that this will be looking into this should look at this section appropriately, and it should be properly explained what they want to achieve with that. Also, for section 23, right of access to information, the subsection 2 says like a crime there. It shall be the duty of any person required to furnish information pursuant to this section to comply with the notice within the period specified in the notice, or where no period is specified within a reasonable period. However, it doesn't state any punishment for someone that doesn't comply to the right of access to information. Here is trying to state that the body, LSHA, should be able to collect information from individuals, from the populace, from everybody. So who doesn't provide the information, there should be a punishment attached to that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I want to thank you all for your contributions, and I quite agree with you that this is a very good one, even though it's a bit belated, because relating to issue of developments in our state and the matters that has to do with trust over land. I think it's never too late, so I'll charge the committee to make sure they do the needful and look at the critical area that I've noticed. Number one, putting such agency under the office of governor, think to be re-examined, because to enjoy undue protection and limits, access or kind of questionnaire that has to do to the office. So I think it should be a body on its own, since the essence is to improve on what we have and to throw its door open to the public. And the other thing, the board, comprises the commissioners and some, I think something that we need to address. It's like putting them in a position to perform double functions, because they have constitutional responsibilities already that enable them to be answerable to Mr. Governor, and giving them another tangible assignment that is so crucial to the interests of our state. I think we need to break it down and address it in such a manner that it will not affect the expectation from this agency. I think it's a very good one, but we need to do a thorough job. And in addition, there should be a provision for regulations, because in running this agency, there may be need to also have power to do some things outside the law. So the need for regulations, so the regulation can come under regulation law of Lagos State, so that we can approve them and they can easily come back every time they need to do something new. So on this note, this bill is hereby assigned to Committee on Physical Planning and to report back in 2 weeks. Yeah, Majority Leader. Majority Leader.
Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I have the approval of the Right Honorable Speaker to move that this House adjourn till Monday, 11th of March 2024 at 12 p.m. I so move, sir.
Honorable Musiba.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague, I rise to second the motion being moved by the majority.
There will be a short meeting immediately after sitting. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those against no, the ayes have it. This House stands adjourned till 11th March, till Monday, 11th March 2024 at 12 noon prompt. I rise.